So why would I do this to this image? Why would I swap the eyes? Why wouldn't I just take another shot? Why wouldn't I just use a different image? Why am I swapping the eyes? Well, it's actually a pretty simple thing. It's just something I've worked into my workflow over the years, and it's how can I make the best image possible given the constraints that I have. So if we look at the raw image here, you can see it's very cool. I love how the tongue is in the ocean. And then I swap the eyes out. And then I continue with my normal treatment, my skin, hue and saturation, my contrast moves, no grain because this is film. And then we have our crop, and there's our final image. But why wouldn't I just choose a different image? Why would I swap the eyes out? Well, if you look at the raws, this is all I have. Like I said, this was shot on vacation. I'm shooting film. I just did a couple snaps, and this is really all I have to work with. And I loved how kind of wild this one was. But the eyes are soft. I mean, you zoom right in here. There's nothing sharp about that. You see, you got much sharper eyes. So why wouldn't I take the best of this and bring it over? And that's exactly what I did. And the reason you want to do this is this might help you in jobs down the road. You might need to swap ahead. Client might need to switch something. So you have to kind of be ready and just constantly be ready to have this as part of your workflow. So if I go to another image and strip it right down to the raw, you can see I completely swapped someone out here. Now, why did I do that? I didn't mind this image, but the client said that this looked a little too uninterested, a little sad. She didn't have the same energy. Ended up using her for another photo. So what did I do? I swapped her out. And you can see if I use my masking tool that I just cut out where it's nice and simple. Wherever there's a nice hard line that I could go over, that would create a nice blend. If I turn this mask off, you can see that it's pretty seamless all the way through, except, you know what's crazy? I just noticed there's a thread here, so I'm gonna fix that. I mean, it's okay. It's not like it was posted on a Times Square billboard or anything. You can see after you throw this in, it's a completely different image. And you can see why they chose to go with something a little bit more dynamic. I mean, her face is essentially the same, but it looks a lot nicer. Then we throw on the rest of our treatment and everything, and it looks great. Another way I use that same tool of compositing. And now if we go to this last one, which was a Verizon job, you can see the original file had a completely different head. So originally they liked this, but they wanted it to be a little brighter. So I made those adjustments, and then they asked me to swap the head out because they just didn't like that shadow. So very simple. Find a good frame. Again, do that same thing where you find a good line along the neck to do it to. Doesn't look the prettiest, but we're in the middle of a working file. Then you look at the rest of our treatment, and it is polished and as good as new, and then a couple final tweaks. But you can see it happens a lot in work with clients or hired work or advertising work, so why not work it into my normal workflow? But I really like the intensity of her looking at me and looking right down the lens, and that's why I did it. If you guys have any questions about any of the photos or any of this process, please leave a comment. I get back to everyone. And if you really want to do me a favor other than hit that like and subscribe button, why don't you post a video of mine on Reddit? That would make my day. Thanks a lot, guys. Happy shooting.